Hello, welcome to Kim's Bioproduction Academy. Today we want to discuss about the absorption of water and mineral salts from the soil by the root hairs until when it's being lost to the atmosphere. Um, this is how it starts. In the root air, we have a cell sap, and the cell sap is always highly concentrated. And what makes them concentrated is because of the storage of the sugars and salts. That's one role of the cell sap. So it means the soil water is less concentrated. So the root air, being highly concentrated, it will exert high osmotic pressure, thus drawing the water through the semi-permeable cell membrane, first through the cell wall, via the semi-permeable cell membrane by osmosis to the cell sap. The mineral salts can either be absorbed by two ways. If they are higher in concentration in the soil, those are examples of the nitrates, phosphates, magnesium. If they're high in the soil, they will be absorbed by diffusion. If they are low in concentration, there will be energy demand, so there will be active transport taking place. And this active transport, because at the root hairs we have numerous mitochondria that will yield energy for that uptake of those mineral salts. So we are saying if they're low in the soil, more in the root air, they will demand use of energy. If they are more in the soil, less in the root air, they will just be passive, that is diffusion. The water now, which is already at the root air, the cell sap, will dissolve the cell sap of the root air, making it to be less concentrated to the adjacent cortical cells. So the cortical cells becomes less concentrated than the root air, becomes more concentrated than the root air. So because of this one, again, water will flow to the cortical cells by the process of osmosis, because water will be moving from the region of low concentration to the region of high concentration across the semi-permeable membrane. This water will continue flowing from the cortical cells via the pericycle, then to the endodermis, from the endodermis to the xylem vessels of the roots, still by osmosis. The mineral salts continue flowing to the endodermis, either by diffusion or by active transport. In the endodermis, that is where energy is being created, and the first force is created, which is the root pressure. And this root pressure is always known as a push force to push the water up the xylem vessels. In the xylem vessel, we have another force whereby there will be water molecules being attracted, and that will be known as cohesive force. These attracted water molecules will be bound by hydrogen bond, and the attracted now water molecules will adhere to the xylem vessel by a force called adhesive force. This adhesive force attracts the attracted water molecules or attaches it to the xylem vessel. The xylem vessel adaptation is always narrow, and this because of its narrowness, and the water molecules is being adhered to the xylem vessel, it will start rising up by a force called capillarity force. This water will still continue rising up by the process of osmosis through the xylem vessels of the roots to the xylem vessels of the stem, then to the xylem vessel of the leaves. Water and the mineral salts will still be moving by diffusion or active transport depending on the concentration. And we are saying mineral salts cannot be transported alone. It has to be transported with the water. When these water and mineral salts reach just the xylem vessels of the leaf, they'll still diffuse and water moving by osmosis to the sponge mesophyll layer. On the sponge mesophyll layer, water still will be lost to the air space, and this now water will be lost out of the leaf through the stomata through a process called transpiration. When the water is lost, the sponge mesophyll becomes highly concentrated than the xylem vessels of the leaf, and another force is created which is called transpiration pull. And for this transpiration pull, it's a pull force from the term transpiration pull. It's a pull force which pulls the water from the xylem vessels of the leaves, then from the xylem vessels of the stem, and from the xylem vessels of the roots. And these will maintain something called transpiration string. And that is the end of water absorption from the soil via the roots airs to being lost from the leaf through transpiration. Thank you. Subscribe to learn more.